Hello. Hello. Welcome. I see some of you are here. I'm hoping you can hear me. So I'm just getting set up here in one of our rooms here at Danyasi Eco Retreat. So it's not my usual setup. But if somebody could just write in the chat and just let me know if you can hear me fine, that would be wonderful. Okay, you can see me. Can you hear me? And as I'm figuring that out, okay, you can hear me. That's good. Welcome, everybody. It's always an interesting dynamic that I can't actually see you or hear you right now. But this is a great user face and platform I've used before. So you can actually type in here when you have a question or something comes up, and I will leave some space later for some question and answers. And I invite you now just to make sure that you're all settled and that your other distractions are off, the door is closed, people know that this is your time, because the more that you can really kind of close off everything else and really dive in, the more that you'll receive from this experience. I always like to say it's like watering seeds, you know, watering your garden. It's like the more that you give attention to that garden, the more it will grow. So that is what we are bringing in today with the theme of living our yes through sacred sexuality. So I'm Sophia Tom, and I'm live here in one of our new suites made from a shipping container here at Danyasi Eco Retreat. So I'm happy to be with you all and share in this juicy topic. Let's see. Okay, so I sometimes get distracted. I get distracted by people putting up their hands and things, requests. So I just invite you to use the chat if you need to let me know something. That would be the best thing. So welcome everybody. I'm really in love with working with the archetypes of the goddesses, and most specifically with the Hindu goddesses. And I've been working with them and actually working with this book, if you don't know it, Awakening Shakti by Sally Kempton. And this has really become my Bible. Ashley Sargent turned me onto it a couple of years ago when we were doing a training, and it all of a sudden, it made sense to me. It was like all of these experiences that I had been having in my body, and understanding these different, you know, the archetypes, the graceful warrior, and these different, the Artemis archetype, like there's all these different archetypes that I had been feeling in my body and in my life, things coming through. But when I got this book, it just gave a map, it gave a language, it gave you know, really this ancient mythology that is already understood by so many people, and that so many people have been bringing this mythology to the West. And so I feel very grateful that we are able now, as Western women, most of us, to be able to pick up this book and understand, like, and this book is really written in a way to be able to really understand how it shows up in our everyday life. So it's something that we can really live as modern yoginis and modern day temple dancers, however you view yourself, but being in this body and understanding that there's something deeper going on. There's these multi-dimensions happening simultaneously. And so the more that we can tap into that and understand it and understand these energies and how they move in our bodies and move through us and help us and support us in really cultivating a life that we truly want. It's just been incredible. It's been incredible to experience in my own life, and then of course with all of the beautiful women that I've been working with in my teacher trainings, and most recently in the Temple Body Awakening. So I bring the theme today of sacred sexuality, and that can come in many different lenses. And Lalita is the Hindu goddess of spiritual eroticism. She's really the magnetic goddess. She is so full of herself and so connected to her desire to create and to, bring energies together to really bring into being what she is visioning. And so I want to bring her into this webinar and really honoring that piece. And I allow these goddesses to kind of speak to me. So, I knew I wanted to do a webinar and connect with many of you. It's been a while. And so I really just listened, and it felt very strong that this is what wanted to come through today. So thank you for hearing the call and being here with all of us. It's beautiful. So I will be sharing later how you can go deeper into Lalita and these different archetypes. But to begin with, we'll just get a taste. And so I invite you to get comfortable. And if you can sit your hips up higher than your knees, that would be great. And just exhaling. I'm going to guide us in a short meditation. And if you don't already, actually, I invite you to have a piece of paper and pen handy, because I will have you just write a few things after the meditation. I love to, have you tap into something, to listen, and then to be able to write. It really helps to bring the body's wisdom, the innate wisdom through. So if you don't already, and whatever came before now, before this moment, just letting it go. Emptying out. So just beginning by taking some slow inhales and exhales, and just close your eyes. Turn your gaze inward. Turn your attention, your awareness inside to your inner landscape. And feel yourself settling into your seat with each breath. Feel the rise and fall of your breath inside your body, this inner dance that's happening all the time. And just take a moment to reflect on your day and just notice, without judgment, how you were. How was your mind? How was your state of being? What things unfolded? Without judgment, just like you're watching it on a screen, just being a witness. And then just letting it go. And now really taking this time to come into yourself, to come into your body, your temple body, and to access the wisdom and the creative sexual power that lives within you. So if you're feeling any emotions right now, just allow yourself to feel them. Just notice what's up for you right now and trust that it's perfect. So take a big sigh with your next exhale and just roll your shoulders up as you inhale and your shoulders down as you exhale. Settling into your seat, feel your breath expanding and contracting. And bring your attention into your pelvic floor and see a lotus flower in your pelvic floor. This is your lotus flower yoni portal. It's the portal to your temple body, your sacred temple body. And just notice what comes up as I say that. Maybe giggles, or maybe just bringing sensation there, whatever that is. So feeling this lotus flower, and now beginning to bring your attention into the roots. So coming down out of your lips and moving down through the different layers of the earth. So feeling into the lotus flower, seeing the roots and moving down through the different layers of the earth. Moving down, down, down through different layers, through the muck, until you get to the center of the earth. And there in the center of the earth is a rose quartz crystal. And wrap your lotus roots around this rose quartz crystal. Feel the energy of this pure, unconditional love radiating from the crystal. And feel into whatever you may be feeling in your body or reflecting on or thinking in your mind that you're ready to let go of. Just give that to the earth. Allow it to move down through your roots and give it to Mama Gaia. She can take it. She's here to support you, to support us. And so offering up, letting go, releasing anything that you're ready to release. Even as we bring in the theme of sacred sexuality, this may be a new topic for you. It may be something that you work with a lot. But whatever it brings up for you, if there's anything, any shame or any tightening or constriction or holding onto anything that does not serve you, I invite you to really take this moment to let that go. To let that go into the earth, to trust that you are safe here now. Releasing and letting go, letting your exhale release whatever you are ready to let go of. Inhaling deeply. Letting out sound. I want to invite you to make the sound Hreem, which is the Bija sound mantra for Lalita. And I just put it in the message. It's H-R-E-E-M, Hreem. So as we inhale, breathing in light and love and space and permission to be the full God. And as you exhale, inviting the sound. And visualizing releasing into the earth. So again, let's do 3 more of those. Inhaling together. Beautiful, inviting the energy of Lalita to be with us tonight, this time. Feeling yourself rooted. Begin to bring your awareness back up the roots. Staying rooted, but bringing your awareness up, back into your lotus flower, yoni portal. Bring your awareness into your lips. Bring your awareness there and imagine just this light and love energy pulsating in your lips. So bringing your sensation there, bringing your awareness. And actually take one hand on your yoni and one hand either on your heart or your womb space. Feel into what feels best for you. Breathing into your yoni, yoni being the Sanskrit word for vulva. So breathing into your yoni, into your lotus flower yoni portal. And imagine now that you have bamboo, hollow bamboo as your whole central axis, coming out of your pelvic floor all the way through your body. This hollow bamboo rooting you into the earth, connecting you to the heavens. And now see this hollow bamboo that you get to fill with your intentions, that you get to fill with your breath, with your sensuality. And begin to pull the petals of your lotus flower up your hollow bamboo. Feel how this tones your pelvic floor. It's almost like a jellyfish too, you can imagine. And just begin to pull the petals of your lotus flower up the hollow bamboo. Pulsing and connecting in to your own personal wish or desire around sacred sexuality, around connecting to your body, to saying yes to yourself and your desires, to saying yes to a healthy, beautiful relationship, if that's something that you are desiring. So what is it that you desire? Feel into that desire. And begin to pull that desire up from your yoni, up through the hollow bamboo. So you get to fill yourself with this desire. What is it that you desire? Comfortable in your body, to be free in your body, to be expressive. We all have our own personal desire, and we all hold a piece here, reflecting one another. So what is it? Really connect into your desire. And as you pull the energy up, almost like you're pumping the energy up, begin to rock your pelvis forward and back. So forward and back, arching your back and then bringing your pelvic floor forward, pulling the energy up your hollow bamboo, pulling your desire up, filling your desire. So rocking your pelvis. And now make your mouth into a circle. And you're going to breathe up through this bamboo flute, from your yoni all the way through, pulsing it, pulling it up, pulling up this desire, feeling this energy moving up through the body. Inhale together and exhale. And then inhaling through the mouth. Pulling up and then exhaling. Inhaling. Holding at the top of your inhale and then exhale. Connect to your desire. What is it you desire around sacred sexuality and living your yes? Breathe it in. Continuing to rock. Continuing to breathe out, bringing the energy up from your yoni, from your lotus flower, bringing the energy up, beginning to move it up through your heart and out through your arms. So you can watch me if you like, bringing the energy up and out through your arms. Hreem, 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 hreem. Slowly settling into stillness, taking one hand again on your yoni and one hand on your heart. Closing your eyes and connecting inside. And notice what you feel in your body, in your yoni, in your heart, in your arms. Notice what you hear. Listening inside and listening with your external ears. Tasting your lips. Touching your tongue on your lips. Noticing what you smell. What do you see with your eyes closed? What do you see in your inner landscape? Maybe nothing, maybe colors, maybe an image, symbol. And just allowing yourself to use your hands and just touching your belly, loving your belly, loving its shape, loving its creases, loving its rolls, and touching your hips, touching your breasts. Feeling sensation of touch and taste and smell and sound and now sight, looking at your body, really taking it in, loving yourself for exactly as you are right now. Maybe you desire something else other than what is right now. But be with that and allow yourself to simply be in acceptance and self-love with how your body is right now. We must love ourselves and honor ourselves and our bodies. We must learn to enjoy and find pleasure with ourselves. We have to cultivate our own relationship with our bodies, with our desire, with God, with the goddess within, with this divine creative spirit that moves through us. Feel your body as the instrument for the divine to move through. Your body is the divine instrument. And so just recognize if there are things coming up that maybe you don't take care of your temple, your instrument. But at least you're here right now, taking this time listening to what is important, to what your body is asking for. So listening, just listening as you're touching, listening to the innate wisdom of your body and what it desires in order for you to come into the fullness of your expression, the fullness of your sacred sexuality. If we do not love and honor and cherish and enjoy being in these bodies, then how can we expect others to do the same? We have to be able to fill ourselves up. Can you relate? Is this resonating for you? And now thinking about a time when you felt truly alive in your body, felt truly alive and turned on. And it doesn't even have to be in a sexual experience. So something that happened that you just knew in every cell of your body that this was a yes, and you literally felt turned on by this thought, by this opportunity, by this experience. So going back to a time when you felt fully alive and excited in your body, turned on for life. What did that feel like? What was going on? Who was with you? When is it that you feel most alive and turned on in your body? That passion, that fire, that drive, that is what we want to follow, what we want to say yes to, what we want to make time for, what we want to feed and nurture and water those seeds. It's a dance, but it takes connecting in and discovering, okay, when do I feel most alive? Or when was the last time that I felt truly turned on for life? And as you listen inside and think about this, just ask Lalita, who lives within you, ask her what you can do to nurture your sacred sexuality, to bring mundane experiences into these spiritual realms of enjoyment and pleasure. How can you carve out time to do what turns you on, lights you up inside? And maybe that's just being and reading a book and drinking tea. It can show up in many different ways. So notice what's here. Notice if Lalita has a message for you, any guide. And then I invite you to write whatever is with you right now. So take your paper and your pen and write down. Maybe you don't even know what you're going to write, but just start writing and just see what wants to come. Continuing to breathe and stay connected to your body. As you write, if you're not sure what to write, even, what came up for you around desire? What do you truly desire when it comes to connection with your sacred sexuality, with your body, with your pleasure, with yourself in relationship? What is it that you desire? The power of desire is the power of magnetism. So just take that in. The power of desire is the power of magnetism. It's as though it's a magnet, magnetizing to you what you desire. Now, when we're here working on self-mastery of, really living in alignment with our soul's purpose, or with our, fullest expression, we all have different ways of looking at it. But when we're really on this path of, stepping into our full potential, it's important to really love ourselves, to be full of ourselves, to be full before we can really attract a partner that can meet us, that's really going to hold the frequency of what we desire, because we have to be what we desire. We have to be what we desire. So just think about that for a moment. Are you acting on, are you believing that you are what you desire? And if not, then okay, there is a gap there. That's something that I need to work on. And we weren't taught any of this. This is absolutely key. It's like most of us have a terrible association with, when somebody says being full of yourself. But that's speaking of the ego. And I'm speaking of really, what is it to be full of yourself? To be full of your essence, your Shakti, your sexual creative power that is this magnet. When you're full of yourself and you love yourself and you're on purpose with who you are, and you're showing up for yourself in the way that you want others to show up for you, you will send out that frequency of yes. Send out that frequency of your highest expression of what you desire, and then you will attract that. You will attract that. So we have to start with ourselves. We have to start with really learning to be with ourselves, to pleasure ourselves, to say yes to ourselves, to follow what really lights us up, to carve out time every day, even if it's 10 minutes, to be with yourself, to move your body, to move this instrument, to tune this divine instrument that is your body. And really recognizing the power that you have to choose in each moment. It's not easy. This path is not easy. This path of awakening, this path of consciousness. And yet it's so rewarding to recognize and to know that you're not alone, and you do belong to something much bigger and vaster, and that we all are connected in this beautiful web. And sexuality is such a huge, important, vital piece of being human. That moment of conception, when two people came together and another being was formed, is absolute magic. It's a miracle. That's where we came from. And so no wonder we're desiring to go back to that moment, to be in that moment where we meld with another, where we have that connection to something greater than ourselves. But to really bring and to understand that when we are intimate with somebody else, especially as women, we are the vessel. And as men, they are penetrating, they are entering into the lotus flower yoni portal. We are saying yes to them entering us. Now, I know as I say this, that there are many circumstances. Many of you may have experienced being sexually assaulted or against your will. And so how do you move from that place of recognizing that everything in life is here to teach us? It's here to teach us, it's here to make us come into our fullness, even through the darkest, most uncomfortable, fucked up situations. And to understand when it comes to sexuality, and that, there's a lot of distortion, there's a lot of darkness around it, because a lot of people don't understand the power of it. And men, especially, are desiring unconsciously, or maybe consciously, to reconnect with the divine mother through us. They have that innate desire to want to be back connected to the Shakti, to where they came from, that power of creation. And so when they are very unconscious and not integral and not honoring of themselves, and who knows where they came from, then they can act out, obviously, we know, in this world. And so moving from there, accepting what happened, learning from it, being somebody who can speak about experiences and help other women. We must heal our bodies and our yonis and understand that we can do our best to step into our power and to really cultivate a healthy relationship with ourselves so that we can attract men or women who can really honor and love us just like we love and honor ourselves. There's a beautiful practice which I also teach about in the Temple Body Awakening course that I do with Lalita, which is with the jade egg. And so some of you may know about the jade egg practices, but it's a Taoist practice, tantric practice of actually inserting a jade stone. I was going to bring it in here and show you, into your yoni and working with the energy in there. And it's really, really powerful for healing and for releasing and for waking up any areas in there that maybe feel like they've gone to sleep or they're numb. So it also helps in really tapping into your vitality, into your creative Shakti. So it helps, as you notice in that movement and the breathing exercise that we did in the beginning, it's moving the energy, it's bringing it up. And so there's really beautiful practices that you can do with the jade egg to heal your body or to really take your sexuality with yourself to the next level. So that comes in the Temple Body Awakening. But for now, I would love to open it up a bit and see if anyone has any questions or anything that you would like to share from this experience. So you can just write in the chat. So Edna, can you describe what you feel happens when a man evolves beyond that desire to reconnect with the Divine Mother through the desire to be same-sex oriented, and likewise in the form of one woman desiring another Divine Mother to partner with? Yes, we all have masculine and feminine qualities and essences within us, and you know, they definitely come through in different forms. And I've actually been transgender things recently, and you know, it's fascinating. I mean, myself, I've been bisexual my whole life, and so you know, I'm now married for 10 years to a man, but I feel like we come through in these bodies, maybe as a woman or a man in this body, but it can show up in different ways to what we desire. And so I think and I feel that if somebody associates with being a man and in that penetrating energy, or if you are born as a man and you desire to be with another man, I've actually, like, that's a new one for me, because I'm not one to judge what that means. I feel like we all desire to be reconnected with the Divine Mother and with Shakti. And so it's hard for me to put my finger on that, or, you know, that's a pretty deep one, Edna, but I love it. And I think that if anyone else wants to share on that, but it's definitely gets intricate here, whereas we come through and we have different sexualities that we associate or identify with, and that can change also throughout our lives. So I feel that there's medicine at different times of our lives depending on who we're attracted to and the relationships that we cultivate and have. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Edna. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share or a question? Yeah, and you know, a really big thing that I teach, and just to understand, going back to, again, well, really, you know, I speak of it from woman to man, but it can show up in different ways. But I feel energetically, because I have experience being with a woman and a man, and there's something to be a woman and to receive this penetrating force. There's something very different than being with a woman. And it actually feels like you're filling up. You have to be really aware that, we are taking on their state of being. We're actually taking that into our bodies. And that can be very tricky. Sometimes if they're not in a space where they're really honoring you, then we can actually receive that in our own bodies. I don't know if you relate to this or have experienced it, but I've definitely worked on this. If you've seen my I wrote a chapter in the Path of the Priestess book, and I actually start the chapter with what my father told me he said, Sophia, if you're going to be having sex, you have to think about God, and if you don't, you're going to fuck yourself. So this is what I took on, even though I came from a very spiritual, healing family. There was still this very strong penetrative energy around sex and around, if we're not consciously connecting to the divine, connecting to God, making it a sacred act, then we're actually just fucking, or we're going to fuck ourselves, or we're going to, get into trouble on some level. And so that's something I've definitely been holding and, moving throughout my life and working through. And it's definitely been a theme. And, I feel grateful because in a lot of ways, my parents and where I come from definitely set me up into looking at sex as sacred. But even with that, there was a lot of shame. So it's really been very interesting for me to let go of the shame, because I have been a very experiential and have a very rich history sexually. But I feel like all of that has taught me ways in what I'm attracting and what I'm creating and how I participate in that, and all the different ways that being in different relationships or with myself can wake up different aspects of myself. So it's definitely a journey. And let's see, Shana, I felt an incredible amount of numbing since having my third child 4 years ago. It scares me to think I will never be able to feel pleasure again. Are there any practices I can do daily? Shana. Yeah, I've been working with a very dear friend of mine who was in a similar place after giving birth. And I think really the jade egg would be an amazing practice for you to bring your attention in there and to really, it's like wherever our attention goes, then energy flows. Just like I said in the beginning of this call, it's like whatever you give attention to and water, like your garden, it will grow. And so just ask you, Shana, have you been able to give energy there or tried different things already? I think really just making the intention and the practice and carving out space, and whether you're in a relationship with the daddy or not, or with yourself, I think first it's sometimes easier just to connect with yourself rather than having to show up for somebody else when you're feeling that. And so really, doing a meditation and asking to bring awareness and vitality and sensation back into that area, and really having a dialogue with your yoni and seeing if there's anything it wants to share with you. And we can talk more, but I definitely feel like the jade egg, a lot of women have used the jade egg after they've given birth. That it also helps to kind of tighten everything in again and bring the energy back in there. So I can share more about that. I hope that helps. So Edna, for me, I noticed since I've decided to feel what it feels in my body to be with a man after being sexually difficult to allow in that penetrative energy, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sending you love. I mean, it's definitely a healing process, and there's going to be wounding there around the masculine that you can work with within yourself to really trust the masculine again. To really trust the masculine again, to trust that within yourself, that focused, penetrative energy, and to trust in relationship. So the healing practices, again, I mean, it's such deep work, and here we're just kind of touching on it. But I definitely, in my course or in my retreats, I definitely go deeper into the different practices, and you get to, really do a practice every day. So it's like carving out that space to really water those seeds and to nurture those aspects of yourself. And so with healing the masculine energy, it's really stillness is a powerful one, actually, like really being in stillness, and also just really going back to that scenario, and there may be some releasing of the trauma that may be also held in your body still. So we can talk about that, but there's definitely ways to release trauma that's held in the body, and to really create prayers to connect back in with the masculine within yourself, and to trust that. And the practices and rituals can be as simple as just carving out 5 minutes a day to be with that, or even starting your day like that, or ending your day like that. So it's really just carving out the time to pay attention and to see this is something that needs to heal, and making that an intention, and asking for the people and the situations to show up to support you in healing in whatever is coming up for you. Emily, how do you like to reconnect with your sexuality when you're feeling disconnected? Perhaps how to maintain the sexual energy within yourself while going through stressful times. Sometimes I can be hard to harness my sexuality while my schedule is so stressful. Yes, I totally understand. And it's all, again, it's about carving out the time. So for instance, being an entrepreneur and running this eco retreat, there's so much that I always have going on. There's so many lists of things, and being a feminine entrepreneur is about balancing that. It's about learning to be, learning to carve out the time so that we can be with ourselves. Because if we're just in overload, then we cannot connect to our bodies and our sexuality if we're just in our heads. So what's happening when we're stressed out, like where the cortisol is getting heightened, we're in our heads, we're not in our pleasure zone. And so it's really about taking time to be. That's like having a bath, rubbing yourself with oils, like really smelling the oil, like coming into your senses, coming into your 5 senses. And as I was saying today, I decided to go to the beach and just meditate. I was feeling overwhelmed, but also wanted to tap into this energy. I had all these things I was supposed to be doing on my list, and I just completely put them to the side, and I went to the beach, and I allowed myself to be there and be in the ocean and move and write and connect to the sand. And it's about coming into your body, in stressful times. It's like we get into our heads. So again, it's the embodiment practices. So thank you so much for being here, and I would love to hear more questions or sharings about maybe what has come up. I want to offer all of you who are here my Temple Body Awakening course that's coming up starting on May 3rd. I want to offer you $100 off, actually, a gift. So, you know, I feel the need for this kind of work, and I just completed a 7-week course with 16 women, and it was so powerful. The transformation that occurred with these women and the things that were happening and the healings that happened, it was just incredible. And so I'm going to be offering the Temple Body Awakening, and this may be the last time actually that I offer it in this way, because it's a lot of one-on-one time with me, or one to group. So I do weekly calls for 7 weeks, and the calls end up being kind of an hour and a half to 2 hours. I also do a one-on-one call with you to really look at what is coming up for you specifically, and how to really use these energies of the goddesses to support you in whatever you're wanting to cultivate and create in your life. And I have websites for each of the different goddesses. I have created different embodiment videos and journal questions and reflections and practices for each of the goddesses. And so it's a 7-week journey, and you know, Lalita is one of them, which obviously you're getting a little taste of now. Sexuality is also a really beautiful one of bringing us into that creativity, the insight, the sound. And Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance, the goddess of wealth, the goddess of beauty, fertility. We work with Goddess Durga, and she is all about, like, she is actually the one to connect in and heal the masculine, because she holds that graceful warrior archetype of the penetrative, the cutting through. She is really able to come and show up with confidence and courage and cut through anything. We have the goddess Kali, learning to come into your dark, goddess, and to burn and cut away what no longer serves, to lap up the demons, the blood, and just exhale only love. She's a very important one for us. Be able to move forward in the way that we choose, we have to be able to go into the darkness, to go into the shadow, and to really release and let go what is getting in the way of us being in our full potential. So I invite you to join me. It's a small, intimate group, so that you all have time to share on the call. So you get to really share and to connect with the other women and myself, and to get feedback. And we also have a really beautiful Facebook group that everyone's sharing, and I have you share with another woman in between the calls, also with me. So you really get the support that you need, not just from me, but also from the other women and from the Facebook group. So, you know, with all of these things, like, it takes practice, but it takes showing up every day and doing it. And so, you know, it takes 21 days to create a new habit. And this is 7 weeks. So this is 7 weeks of really saying yes and committing to diving into these goddess archetypes and energies that live within you already. So it's about waking them up, harnessing them, connecting into your temple body, and strengthening and tuning your divine instrument, your body, connecting in the sisterhood, and really bringing, like, what is it that you want to cultivate and create in your life right now? What is your yes? And maybe you don't know what that is either. So it's a beautiful opportunity also to discover what your yes is, and then to really bring that into being through the practice, through really carving a new pathway and creating new habits. So there is a payment plan. It's $350, and then it would be 2 payments of $350, but I'm offering $100 off if you sign up in the next 12 hours. So 12-hour special. And you know, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm also available. I can put the link here, actually. if you would like to connect with me and just have like a 15-minute kind of discovery session to see if this is something that you're wanting at this time that makes sense for you, then I'm going to give you the link right now, and you can book a 15-minute session with me so we can talk. See if I can find the link for you. Is there any more questions or anything that's coming up for anybody? Well, I may have to send this to you. Let's see. It's not really working. So, but just reach out to me, and reach out if you're interested, if you'd like to chat with me, and I can give you the link to book a session with me on Time Trade. So Emily's asking, Edna, it sounds super amazing. I'll ask the universe to make the way. So much gratitude and love. I love it. Tana, still feeling a sensation around my yoni. Hope to take that energy and direct it towards desires. Yes. Yes. The power that we hold, like, you know, connecting to your yes. It's like when you're in that moment and you're making love and you're just like, yes, yes, yes. It's like, that's what we want. Live our life like that, like to be excited and to be like filled up and enthusiastic. Like enthusiastic entheos actually means like full of God. It's like to be full of God, to be full of yourself, to be excited and turned on. Let's see. Emily says, do you believe that it's important to have a balance of masculine and feminine energy? I absolutely do. Yes. I believe that in order to really be efficient and be fully in our soul's alignment and be a full expression of ourselves, we have to find that balance within ourselves, and that's going to look different for everybody. So it doesn't look the same for anybody, but it's about really harnessing the feminine and the masculine, and that's something I really go very deeply into in my teachings. But it's about the feminine being this expansive, wide, enveloping essence, this ability to envelop and to give birth to ourselves again and again, and to be wide and to dance and to create. And the masculine is it's the ability to cut through. It's the penetrative, it's the focus, it's the one pointed focus that can really help to create a balanced, harmonious life in your career, in your relationships, in your sexuality, with your family, so on every level. And it's about learning how to be in both of those within yourself, and what that feels like for yourself, because it does feel different. So yeah, I call it's like the inner cross. So we all have this inner cross, and actually the image that I used for the Temple Body Awakening was done by Android Jones, who some of you may know, brilliant visionary artist. And it's a portrait of me, and it's holding the different symbology that I teach. So it has the inner cross in there. It has, the yoni, the lotus flower yoni portal. You can't see it in this short one, but if you go to my website, you'll see the full portrait there. And, the wings to expand into our life's calling, and the 1,000-petal lotus. So really opening up all the chakras and being this like fully tuned instrument with everything like balanced. And this is the practice. This is the dance. This is the way that I live, that I do my best to show up every day. And we're all human, but I'm so passionate about helping others, and especially women, to really for you to come into your fullness and to live the life you were born to be, and to recognize yourself as the goddess, to find your own inner goddess archetype, you know, that will shapeshift and change depending on what you are cultivating and where you are in your life at that time. But it's showing up where you are right now, loving yourself, and saying yes and moving through the fear, choosing love. So you have a choice in every moment, if you choose fear or if you choose love. Are you going to stay comfortable where you are right now, or are you going to make this commitment and say yes and move forward and heal and live the fullest expression of yourself? So that is why I am here, and I am so happy to share with all of you. And you know, I actually also have a live retreat coming up that there's still space for, happening on April 20th. It's a full moon retreat, and there's just space for 11 women, and you'll be staying here at Danyasa for 3 nights, and then we'll go up to my friend's farm, an hour and a half in the mountains, to Finkamia, which is absolutely delicious. Like, I get so turned on just being there. It's the temperature is perfect. You can be naked in the river, in this cold, incredibly exhilarating river. We're eating off, you know, the food from the garden. We'll be dancing and creating art, and, you know, creating our own mantras and stepping into the fullness of who we are. We're doing a full moon Kali ritual here at the beach, and it's going to be incredible. So if you're interested in my retreat, there's still space. So if you want to be spontaneous, so please reach out to me if you have any questions about any of this. I'm also have a teacher training coming up, body wisdom yoga teacher training, and I'll be offering 50 hours of my embodied wisdom, fivefold path, and the goddess archetypes, and the dance yoga fusion. And so so much goodness happening, and so wonderful to see many names and to feel all of you. So let's just close by taking a moment, just feeling everybody that has been on this call tonight, or those of you who are listening to it later, and just feeling the connection with everybody, and feeling this rise of the feminine Shakti energy through women and men at this time, this healing divine force that is rippling through. And know that you are here for a reason, that you are ready to say yes. When you say yes, the universe applauds, the universe celebrates by opening doors and offering gifts and boons, new friends and tribe and community and sisterhood. The more that we say yes and follow what really lights us up and turns us on, the more that our path expands and opens. And the people that show up, they meet us, they inspire us, they celebrate us, because we are doing the same for ourselves. So I invite you to take the medicine, to take the gems from this experience, and to really reflect on what you are desiring and what you are ready to say yes to, and how you want to shift. And honoring your body wherever it is at this time, trusting in your body's wisdom, and asking for the guidance to show up through mentors, through friends, through courses, through communities. And bowing to your own light, thanking Lalita for being with us tonight, thanking one another for showing up, I look forward to connecting with many of you. Please feel free to reach out. And please don't keep me a secret. If you feel like you receive some gems from here, I invite you to share on your wall or write on the webinar page on Facebook, and to share with me. I'd love to hear how this experience was for you and how I can support you. So this offer for $100 off, so it will be $600 instead of $700 for the 7-week journey, will be available for the next 11 hours. So feel into it. If it feels like a yes, you can pay $350 now and then $250 in a month. So reach out with any questions. Sending so much love to you from Costa Rica. Namaste. Namaste.